I've been paying a lot of attention lately to the worldwide financial markets because it affects all of our ability to buy a second guitar, which we can keep in permanent drop D tuning for all of our Motley Crue style guitar playing needs. If you don't know much about that, don't worry about it. Later time, we'll talk about it. I've noticed there are at least two YouTube channels I've come across lately that are generating a lot of video content, and they're recent channel creations. The content that they're generating or putting out appears to be all AI generated. At least that's my best guess. Take it for what you will. But what's fascinating is the style and the amount of data and information that these channels are presenting about the worldwide financial system. Specifically, what's going on with the metals markets. This is important because fiat currencies right now from all these different countries are experiencing massive issues. The issues are corruption, the creation of these currencies being not backed by anything, causing these governments to create currency. It's not money, they're creating currency to oblivion. And the way the financial markets work is you can do that for a while, but all these fiat currencies eventually return to their intrinsic value, which is nothing. There's never been a fiat currency that survived. I think there's been over 200 of them that we know about in history. For more information on that, you can watch, there's a video series called The Hidden Secrets of Money by Mike Maloney. At least minimum, these two channels have main characters who are sitting kind of similar to what I'm doing, presenting talking head information about these markets. I'm currently recording this video on January 1st, 2026. This is a very significant day because China has put export controls on their physical silver. And silver, as we know, is needed in all types of electronics. You may have noticed recently that the prices of video game graphics cards, the cards everyone likes to put in their PCs, which run Windows, which totally, completely sucks. That's why I use a super high-powered Mac. I'm not a gamer guy. I like playing Xbox a little bit. I wish I had a PlayStation and or a Nintendo, but I've digressed. So we'll keep talking about what we're dealing with here. Microsoft sucks. I'll say that on the record over and over and over. All right, back on topic. China has put these export controls on physical silver. I'm sure you've heard about the interception of tankers off Venezuela, and at least one of them being a Chinese business-owned tanker, supposedly taking crude oil from Venezuela over to China. Well, the Trump administration said, okay, we're going to seize that. We're doing, there's a lot of bad drugs and stuff coming from Venezuela. However, according to some of the interesting commentary I've listened to, this isn't just about fentanyl and cocaine and whatever drugs they're pushing. This is about critical mineral supply, of which silver is included. Silver was formally added to the U.S. critical minerals list of the Department of the Interior back in October. These minerals are necessary for the strength of nations, for their manufacturing capability, for their war-fighting capability. All of the AI and battery technology now, with Samsung's new battery technology having a silver anode, we need silver for everything. Over the past 5 years, silver has been in a critical supply shortage. The amount the world uses each year is not the amount that's mined. We're short by, I think, a couple 100 million ounces being produced each year. The way the financial markets work is you have a bunch of dirty banksters right? And they're all trying to make currency. They're not making money, they're making currency via these computer algorithms. These algorithms sense certain things in the market at certain times based on different math equations and different parameters, and will execute trades, buying and selling super fast. One of the issues, according to one of these videos I was watching, the U.S. pension market. You know, a lot of companies and governments and U.S. government, think of all the firefighters and police, you know, they have pensions. Military guys, you get pensions. These pension funds survive by making investments. Allegedly, one of the things they do is they look at the best performing asset. For example, this is the start of a new year, right? There are about supposedly 5 days in which a lot of these financial institutions look to invest a large amount of capital in the best performing asset. The best performing asset in 2025 has been silver. The issue is you have these different companies looking to make investments, companies that manage, say, pension funds, and they look at investing in silver. Maybe not necessarily physical silver, maybe certain types of stocks involving silver, ETFs, which stands for exchange traded funds. But these stocks, some of these funds are allegedly backed by physical silver. So when enough of these stocks are purchased, the holder, the company owning this ETF, has to go secure physical silver on the market, allegedly. If there's a sudden rush of these different funds based on their computer analysis, looking to invest in the best performing asset of 2025 for the future here in 2026, they look into silver and they all try to rush in and buy it. There isn't enough silver being produced. There isn't enough silver in supply warehouses, big vaults to support this. This can cause a financial system meltdown. Who knows if it will or not? You know, a lot of these bankers try to keep things going their way for as long as they can until they can't anymore. 6 p.m., I believe, Eastern time. The markets are currently closed. 6 p.m. Eastern time is when the markets open up for commodities. And that's when we will see what happens right now in the silver market. Is it going to rocket up? It's been extremely volatile over the past week or so. These things can affect the whole worldwide system. It affects humanoid robot development. It affects battery development. It affects all the electronics used in everything. You know, these AI video content channels, they are producing a lot of information, and the information they're producing, you know, when you make AI videos, you sign up for a Google VO account or whatever account. They have limitations on how much you can make, how many videos you can make, the length of those videos per day based on what account type you have. One of the ideas that I've heard floating around is maybe these channels are created by the intelligence community, perhaps to make people aware or to guide people in a certain direction. So if it's created by an intel or a state government, which government is making it? Maybe it's not. Maybe these videos are being created using scripts from, say, ChatGPT, and those scripts are being uploaded into someone who has, say, 8 Google VEO accounts. Google VEO, I mentioned that one specifically because when you make a video with that, you can also generate audio with it. It'll generate sound, and it sounds real. It's amazing what it can do. If you've never looked into Google VEO stuff, check it out on YouTube. Look up Google VEO example videos. Absolutely incredible. Who's putting out this information and why? And is the information accurate? If so, well, for a long time, the economy, the world financial system, the way funds are transferred and the way banks operate has been on just a knife's edge. We're right on the edge of a collapse, a freezing of the systems, where then people have to resort to, you know, your local communities and acquiring food and building relationships and doing things just in different ways for a little bit until the system can unfreeze, get out of this mess that we're in, and everything changes. There's the idea of a worldwide financial reset, bringing in, you know, the cryptocurrencies, the central bank digital currencies. I don't know what's going to happen when the market opens tonight. Not my problem. It might be all of our problem eventually. We know. We don't know. We're all in this together.